Hi everyone, this is Chintan, and with me we have Rushi. Today we are gonna build a CLM application from scratch. We both are very experienced developers, so that is one prerequisite we are taking in. We'll show you how to completely build a solution using Vibecoding. Over to you, Rushi. So, how are we making it today?
Yeah. So today we are creating a CLM application, which is basically a contract lifecycle management. So since you have domain knowledge around that, so I wanted to understand what CLM is and what kind of use cases we want to solve with this.
Awesome. So, let's do that. I'll give a brief introduction to the audience while you set up everything. So, I have experience in building a tool called BharatLaw.ai, which is a legal research platform. While building this, I came in contact with a lot of lawyers and understood their requirement. One of the most requested feature has always been CLM, contract lifecycle management. They have to vet a lot of contracts every day, and contracts can range from just few 5-10 pages to multiple 100 pages long. So that has been a huge challenge for them. So today we are going to show you how a simple solution that is built using only vibe coding can help them elevate their problems.
Okay. So since this can become a vast solution, like there may be many functionalities in this. So one part is as you mentioned that we need to review contracts and those contracts can be multiple pages. So we can obviously use some generative AI to review those contracts and provide us suggestions. But there may be other functionalities as well. So it can be a functionality where different life cycle of contract can be managed. There may be some functionality where contract digital signing can be handled. So I think we first need to figure out what kind of features can be possible in this solution, and then we can go with each of the features one by one. So
Awesome. Let's start your screen and let's start researching.
Okay. So I guess to brainstorm this with AI, I guess should first go with OpenAI. So we will just provide some prompt and we will do some sort of research what kind of features can be available and what do we need exactly. So yeah. So I will just start with the prompt and you can provide your suggestions in between. Okay. So
Awesome.
this is very high level brief or one liner I can think of. Do you want anything added in this so that we can provide that prompt to GPT?
Yes. So I think let's first build it for legal departments only, not for legal firms.
Hmm.
So you may
Okay.
want to just target legal department of a firm.
Okay.
And I would recommend you write a prompt in a more structured way where you mention like what is the purpose, then target audience. So it has very
Okay.
good clarity on how to go about it.
Okay.
Correct.
So purpose is basically this. What I need. Then target audience would be.
Legal departments of corporate.
Okay. And use cases, I guess I have provided all the simple use
You
case
can
over
write
here.
use cases over here.
Hmm.
I think the first use case is to create clauses. So a company has their own set of requirements when they are dealing with anyone. For example, a clause can be that the payment has to be in advance. The
Hmm.
payment clause of that company will always check whether the terms match with them or not, whether the other party has mentioned that they will pay in advance or not. So that is one
Hmm.
clause that is already created. So they just have to
Hmm.
cross reference it.
Okay. Okay, so I will just brief it over here.
So whenever we are writing any prompt, the way Rushi is writing is the best way. They will provide as much detail as possible so the AI can understand precisely what we want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and this can be customized. Okay, so one of the requirement is this, or use case is this, like companies can create their own clauses.
Correct. The
Hmm.
second is where companies usually want to define a template. So if they are going to generate an MSA for one of the customers, they will have their clauses defined and a contract template also defined. For
Hmm.
example, if they select that my customer is in India and in this specific state, so based on that, a
Hmm.
specific template will be picked up, which is specifically designed for that state. Same way
Okay.
for if it is cross border. So if it's an American customer and they create a contract for them,
Hmm.
so it will have a specific and in US with every state there is a different rules and regulations when we are dealing with the vendors over there.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
so
So,
they can select a country, they can select a state, and they can select an objective. And based on that, they will already have some templates ready, which if they just fill out basic details like customer name, address, it will just draft entire contract for them.
okay. So, create customized template for contracts. I'm just using title case right now for some reason. But I will change that. Okay. So, each, uh, so I have briefed that functionality as well.
Excellent,
So we have covered customized clauses as well as customized templates.
excellent. The third would be to create a contract repository. That is where an actual contract that comes in their way. So their vendors will send them some contracts. So they want to upload that and store it in their repository. So we can call it a contract repository where all the contracts are stored company wise, vendor wise, year and month and type also. So accordingly, a well structured storage of the contracts we can have, and that will also
Okay.
become one of the search feature also. So I think search can be a separate feature. We just first create a contract repository.
Okay. So I wanted to relate that contract repository with customized templates. So in contract repository, you mentioned that we will be having some contracts supplied by vendors, which we will just upload and later it can be
It
search or
correct.
different use cases can be there. So how does it relate to creating a customized template?
Template is like a predefined format of that just they adopt with the new information and create a new contract. So that newly created contract will
Hmm.
also go in the contract repository.
Okay. So basically, with this application, we want to cover pre-existing contracts as well, and we want to create new contracts as
Correct, correct.
well.
We would recommend organize them in repository, not
Okay.
structure them,
Okay.
and
So we have
upload pre-existing contracts and create new contracts also. So any new contract is created is also organized.
okay. We have covered customized clauses, templates, as well as contract repository.
The final feature would be a simple search.
Okay.
So I would recommend a search very similar to how Perplexity implements. So you write in natural language, it goes and brings the answer which are well cited and from your own knowledge repository.
Okay. So can you provide a simple one-two use case of what the user will search? So will they be searching any contract like do I have any specific requirement in this specific contract, something like that, or what could be the use case for search?
So one of the example is like what are my payment terms with XYZ corporation? So
Okay.
another query can be when is the contract due for renewal?
Hmm.
Show me all the
Got it.
contracts which are due for renewal in next quarter. So these are some of the sample queries that the user may have.
I guess we are also missing one feature because we created clauses, but we haven't made any functionality to uh, compare or verify these clauses with uploaded content. So do we need any feature around that?
It will be part of contract repository. When they upload an existing contract, it automatically compares.
Okay,
So
with
ideally,
my clauses.
ideally within contract repository, there can be two options. One is to create new contract, and second is to
Hmm.
upload a contract. So when they
Okay.
create a contract, they can select which templates to pick up and then fill out details, and the contract is created out of there itself. And if when they select that upload a contract, so when they upload a contract, it will automatically scan and compare all the clauses.
Okay.
So maybe you
So I
want to
need
add more
to.
details into that track repository.
Yes.
This is an important exercise that needs to be done when giving information to AI. Never assume that AI will automatically understand what you mean. So always add more details. Be very explicit about it. And if you can provide more use cases, then it is much better. Always give more use cases, more examples. Again, AI works all on patterns. So more patterns it has, it performs much better.
Right. So it compares or verifies existing clauses, and will it provide some suggestions on top of that so that we can accommodate any new information in contract, or it will just compare and show us the result? How does it work?
Right now, it will just show us and compare like what's the difference between the company's clause and the other party's clause, and
Hmm.
maybe additionally it can recommend edits also.
Uploading pre-existing contracts, those contracts will be verified and checked against existing clauses, and it provides structured outcome with suggestions and recommended edits. And whenever new contracts are created, it will so new contracts will take clauses from existing customized clause repository, and it will generate a document out of that, right?
So when you want to create a new contract, you will either select a pre-existing template that you have already created, or
Okay.
you can select a blank contract also. So
Hmm.
when you select a blank state, then you have to specify each clauses, and that is where you can pick up from your clause repository as well. So
Hmm.
clause repository can be used at both places when you are creating a blank project, blank
Hmm.
contract, and second is when you are designing your template. So because when you are
Okay.
designing template, you can borrow your clauses from your clause repository in creating those templates.
Okay. So ultimately, this is the primary or base
This will be
entity
our
clauses.
yeah, the smallest unit of work for us.
Hmm. Then templates can be created out of
Clauses,
clauses,
correct.
and contracts can be created out of
Template
a
or
customized
clauses.
template. Hmm. Okay. So I will update it accordingly. And here, customized template, companies will may have recommend. Okay, so I will also add one information over here. And customized templates can use. Okay, we are considering this four high-level features as of now, right? Do you have anything else in mind? We can also have some life cycle management or workflow. So whatever contracts are due for renewal, that can be associated in a workflow so that it can be sent to a user and they can digitally sign it. So do we want to cover that right now, or we should plan it in a further phase?
Yeah, there are many features besides this anyways. So there is multilingual that we want to add. Then maybe versioning is to be added because a lot of contracts get into revision. So then creating
Hmm.
amendments on the existing contract is another feature, very common feature required. So I think it can be very extensive. However, let's try to stay focused on building a very small MVP first,
Hmm.
and gradually we can add the features on top of it.
Okay. So I will just provide that context to this AI. Like these use cases are for MVP, and I will provide context that later.
No,
Like,
you don't have to put later. Maybe just
hmm,
inform it that we want to build this software in a iterative style.
hmm,
So recommend iterations of each feature.
hmm,
So we don't want to build all the features in one go. We will build
hmm,
smaller features for each of them. And I think one
hmm.
feature will be there, which I think because we are developers, we have not give it explicit thought, but yes, authentication and authorization.
Okay. So I will provide some context over there as well, and we need to brainstorm on what kind of user roles will be there.
Correct.
So as we mentioned that the target audience for this application is legal department of a firm.
Correct.
So there will be obviously admin of that legal department of a firm, and there will be user. So I can think of these two high level roles as of now.
There will be
How
multiple
do?
roles. I think
Mm-hmm.
in terms of users, there will be reviewers, there will be editors, then can be approvers. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
junior may draft the entire contract. It has to be reviewed by someone else, and then finally maybe CEO, CTO approves that contract to go forward. So there can be maybe three roles.
Okay. Drafter, reviewer, and approver.
Correct.
Okay.
So just for our audience, you may want to explain them what is authentication and authorization, and maybe a very quick difference between the two.
Yeah. So we use this two terms interchangeably, I would say. So, but there is a subtle difference between that. So authentication is how the user comes into the application and whether they are authenticated or not. So whether they have ability to access the system or not, that is determined by authentication. And authorization is basically whether that user is allowed to operate on a specific functionality or not.
Correct.
So authentication is first step, and authorization is all the authenticated users have different authorization, and based on the role or permissions, they can access a specific feature of an application.
Excellent. I think that
Oh
that
yeah,
has been a bigger challenge for a lot of the developers to understand.
yeah.
But yeah, this is a key part of the entire platform. Even though it looks very small, but this has a huge impact. I would recommend we split this into two. First is just to create authentication authorization, meaning we allow them to log in, and then authorization is whatever the contracts they are working on, they can just see those contracts and edit those contracts.
Hmm.
Maybe role level access we can maybe create later on.
Hmm. So I will just this authentication part with login and registration. And for registration, we might want to go with some sort of SSO. So these forms will already be
We'll use
using
I
some.
think Auth0
Uh,
right now
hmm.
for very quick
Hmm.
implementation. So entire
Hmm.
authentication authorization will just hand it over to Auth0. Yes.
Okay.
We can also explore Key Clock if it's a fully free and open source project.
Recently, I have been seeing that there are odd zeros competitors are there as well, like Clerk. So many developers are using that as
Yes, recently that I think for last 1.5 year I have seen lots of clones around Auth0.
well.
I personally like Auth0 because of the reliability and very extensive amount of documentation for all kinds of language and frameworks.
And there is Okta as well, or is it acquired?
Yeah,
I'm
Okta
not sure.
acquired
Just
Auth0.
got it.
It's the same company. They do have two different products. Okta also sells identity solutions, their
Hmm.
Okta brand, and then Auth0 also sells similar.
Got it.
So not drafter, but maybe editor.
Okay. I have different users,
Right now,
different
just
roles.
create, just don't create any new roles right now. It's simple user
Hmm.
only. So somebody
Okay.
creates an account and they can use the platform. That's it. Eventually, we'll add the role management and stability. All those later on we can add.
Okay. So for MVP perspective, I will just keep this
Yeah,
authentication
simple
authorization.
authentication and
Yeah.
authorization should work for us.
Hmm. Not full authorization, just users can come into system, right, and they can do anything.
No,
Then we
they
will
can
add
just
permission.
review their own work.
Okay. So
So
that
if
sort of
I have created a
authorization.
contract, you cannot come and just delete it or edit it.
Okay. I will just provide this brief and I guess AI will figure that out.
Correct.
So yeah, now the final, we have provided purpose, target audience, as well as use cases, and we have tried to detail it as much as possible.
So you may want to
Now,
elaborate more on iterative model to the AI.
hmm,
What do you mean by that?
okay. So first, I want to build POC MVV of bare minimum features to evaluate the idea and then gradually
Incrementally,
more features or enhance.
correct.
So yeah, basically we will add more features and we will enhance existing features as well.
Got it. And what would you want AI to do first? Do you want it to create a solution document, or do you want a list of iteration that it will generate?
So I guess we might want to relate it as a like let's say I'm a product manager and you are a product owner or some customer who is coming with this requirement. So at first you just explain it in a one line or a two line. Then we did a brainstorming and we were able to figure out this many features are required and we want to go in a iterative way.
Correct.
So I guess we can ask after this brainstorming activity, we can ask AI to provide us some sort of spec out of this because these features we have just written in natural language. We may want to enhance that with a proper description and everything.
Yeah, let's do that. So maybe ask it to create a detailed spec document.
And we want to provide it some restriction as well because if we just say spec document, it might come up with implementation detail as well. So just
Yeah, just
to be
correct,
careful.
correct. That's a good point. I think mention that don't provide any code samples or recommend any frameworks right now.
Any implementation detail like code framework. So first is just detail spec, and then we will iterate on other things going forward.
And for our audience, we if you want to be again specific about it, you can mention the structure of your spec document as well. You can mention like first
Hmm.
description, then write all the features and their use cases. So yeah, it's up to you how you want to be creative about it. For now, we'll just use the spec document and let AI recommend whatever it thinks better. I
Yeah.
think let's switch to thinking model, maybe. ChatGPT.
So I guess we might want to use this auto mode and let AI decide whether it uses the thinking for not, for it not or not. What would you say?
We can do that. I just feel that it will just take a shortcut. But yeah, let's give it a try.
Yeah, yeah. So it has determined the model routing has determined that it needs thinking model.
Kudos to OpenAI.
I think we can go through the thinking, what it is thinking.
Although your custom instruction that it is following.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we could have done without the vision statement actually.
Hmm. If we would have provided some structure for slide document, then this could have
I think
been
we could have
eliminated.
mentioned that this is for AI only. So think that
Hmm.
an AI is gonna read it and just skip every aspect which is not necessary.
Yeah, so there are two ways to do this. We can just stop this and provide that instruction right away, or we can iterate on this output.
Yeah, I think iterating will have a context window issue then. It will start
Hmm.
losing context. But that's okay.
Then
I
yeah,
think it's not a bad output that it has generated so far.
yeah. It's just that there are some additional information which we might not need.
True.
So let it complete. and we will use the canvas mode to iterate on this. Okay, so
it
now I will go into the edit mode and I will provide some information.
No, I think that it's okay. We don't want to
Hmm.
modify it right now. It is
Okay.
it will just anyways ignore this when we ask it to proceed with it.
Hmm. Yeah. And anyways, it is not so much token, so I guess we are good to go.
Yeah,
But let us read that first. If it has
correct.
provided some incorrect information, then we might want to
Yeah,
change. Okay. Let's take a meaningful.
yeah. I think it has picked up non-goals for MVP also, which we did not mention.
Hmm.
That's good. I think you didn't have to tell it.
Yes. So ultimately, we didn't specify what are the outcomes of this platform. We provided the problem statement and use case, but not the outcome.
Correct.
So it has
It
determined
picked
it
up
by
really
itself.
well. Yeah, target users persona.
So I think for this POC or MVP, the terms can be modified, I would say, like legal analyst and associate, reviews and edit contracts, manage clauses and then
So this is correct.
tax
I think
policy. Hmm.
this is correct. I think
Okay, so but we shouldn't
only
think
I
this target user.
role that doesn't make sense is business requester.
Yeah, optional label.
They,
So I guess
they
we
don't,
can remove
so
this.
it does not fit into our POC right now.
Hmm.
Again, it's
It has
an
specified.
optional thing, yeah.
Yeah,
But other than
but I will
the
just
two
remove
roles
that.
are good right now. This
Hmm.
analyst and manager.
Got it. Or will be there authorization, document owner. I think we don't need audit and activity. We can cover this in versioning, right?
No, audit and versioning are two different things actually. Audit may not be required immediately.
But essentially, those two are different things, right? I would agree. But I guess we can remove
Yeah, yeah,
audit and activity
we
from
can
now
remove audit and activity right now.
and notifications as well because right now
Correct. Yeah,
we
notification
do
we
not
don't
want to.
need. Those are the extra thing it added. Very useful,
I
but
guess
not immediately required. Yeah, this is clear, so they have removed it.
so. Since I have removed
Yeah,
notifications
audit and
from above,
activity, maybe version control also.
hmm,
I think those are part of DMS anyways. But yeah, I think
hmm,
they are mentioning as a integration. So again, CLM will be deeply integrated with their existing systems such as Microsoft Dynamics or HubSpot because their customers will be there, customer data is there, so they may want to integrate our platform into their existing solutioning, even SharePoint
hmm,
also.
yeah.
So
So
it
any
picked up
DMS
really
can be
well.
integrated.
It picked up well.
Yep. And it has provided some user stories as well.
Yeah, it automatically picked up versioning also. So in clause management, I think
Hmm,
second is versioning of a clause.
hmm.
Now that will make it very complicated right now. So, and I think version it has added everywhere. It took a by default as a feature over here.
So I think we can do one thing over here.
No, don't
We'll
edit
just
this
ask it.
right now.
Hmm.
We'll do that in the next step.
Okay. So let's just note
So ideally,
versioning we don't need anything.
our next step should be to ask it to create user stories, maybe detailed user stories for the MVP, and then maybe we can ask that okay, so break it down into three iteration, and first one should be the smallest one. Pick which user stories can be built in the first iteration.
Hmm.
So maybe in this way we can clarify more. And while specifying that, we can mention that don't focus on creating versioning right now. Make it as simple as possible.
Got it. So it has provided some phases as well. But instead of phases, we will just go with iterations as we discussed just now.
Yeah, it has some open questions as well. Let's see what questions it has. Okay,
Jurisdiction.
what clause categories are top priority? Okay,
So I think it won't matter for actual spec or implementation. It's just that if we are going to create this document and if we want to provide some additional questions to product owner, then these questions might be useful. Some of them could not be.
no, if you clarify
So,
some of this, that will be useful. For example, it wants to export a document, so I think that is one critical requirement anyways. If you create a contract, you may want to export it as a doc anyways.
hmm,
But yeah, I think yeah, let's do that later on. Right now, we'll just go with bare minimum. So if it, and jurisdiction is a valid question. Like, what is the default
hmm,
jurisdiction we want to have?
hmm.
So we can right now focus on Indian market. So we can tell it that in jurisdiction of India applies over here, and its states.
Do we want to restrict this clause categories or it can be dynamic?
Just mention that capture all possible clause categories. Hmm. No, just docx. Don't even get PDF.
Hmm. So I didn't understand this
Yeah, yeah.
basic
It
incident.
is not very important right now. This is when we are hosting the application.
Okay.
So EU and all those region require that your data stays within EU,
Hmm.
especially legal data. So in that case, it's just matter of where we are hosting it.
Okay. Pilot document type. So we just mentioned the contract documents. We didn't specify which type of contract, like whether it is master service agreement, statement of work. So do we need to restrict it?
Uh, Largely, it is a good idea that our system has some of this already defined, well structured. It
Hmm.
can be open, you can create anything that you want. It is best idea to have it restricted. So I think right now we can go with these four types: MSA, SOW, NDA, and DPS.
I don't know what DPA is.
Data
Uh,
Protection Agreement.
okay. Business requester. I guess we don't need it, right?
Yeah, we don't need that. So just mention no.
Okay.
As Sam Altman said, please and hell, thank you cost a lot of money. So let's keep our
Yeah.
token count bare minimum.
He doesn't even capitalize letters in his.
True.
So
Small letters are cheaper.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, we have answered open questions. Now, as you mentioned, we need to go with iterative plan of user stories, right?
Correct.
So our follow-up prompt would be,
Maybe just mention that as assume you are a product manager, you can just close the
hmm,
canvas.
yeah,
You just close button. Cross. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Assume you are a product manager. Given the above spec, create detailed user stories for this POC. Now, when we mention this, we may want to include some acceptance criteria also. It will
Hmm.
help us in creating test cases later on.
Right. So please include
Yeah, don't
the
write please.
yeah. And we discuss about phased or iterative manner as well. So do we want to ask that
Can write
provide plan for each
include
of this?
detailed acceptance criteria, otherwise it will just write in very short. And
Hmm.
also mention why we want the acceptance criteria. We want to generate test cases out of it. Unit test cases.
Not just unit test cases, but the test cases can be used by uh, uh, quality analyst as well.
Okay,
So we will just generalize it.
right.
Okay. Do we want to go with iterative or sprint-based models, or we will just create backlog first
First we
and
create
then?
the backlog and then we decide. We'll follow the entire Scrum.
Got it. Okay, so I guess just follow up from James Woods. I will just answer that.
Yeah, that's it.
Previous document as well provided some basic acceptance criteria, but now it will do it based on stories.
Correct. Okay. Very nice. It created epics also.
Hmm.
And then user stories.
It has covered all auth related things and authorization, ownership thing it has covered, admin is visible. Yeah, so that's what we wanted. We didn't want anything.
Let's create a Git repository to start pushing this also. We'll create a
Yeah,
requirements folder in that right now only.
got it. Okay.
I
Where is the
need
new
to
button?
sign
Okay, I'm not signed
in.
up.
I think passkeys are amazing feature.
Hmm. Still not really.
Just keep all the smalls. I think that is the naming convention. Yeah.
Just clone it and then do markdown files over there. Okay, let's go. Clone it. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Just add.
now
Yeah.
two documents.
Yeah. Both documents can
First is
add as a requirements over there. You can just click download. I think. Will it download? Yeah. As an MD file. Correct.
first is this
First
one.
document also.
Okay. So now we have first version of both the documents.
So just create a folder called requirements. Keep it one.
Hmm.
Yeah. Moves to the requirement folder. Documents move to requirement folder. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. So later on, based on this requirement, what is-
Yeah.
so we have baseline covered over here.
Let's create the
Uh,
last document, which
hmm,
is the iterations.
right.
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
No, no, call it. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Right. From the above backlog,
hmm,
yeah. Create sprint wise story distribution.
yeah, or we can say it sprint plan for, plan will include a lot many things.
Correct. Sprint wise story distribution. Assuming sprints of 2 weeks.
Mm, so I guess to reason that it will have to determine how much time a story would make, but I'm not sure whether it will be able to determine that. Let's try it because it doesn't know how many man months or how many people will work on that, right?
We can tell it, assuming a team of maybe, 5 full stack developers.
That would be too high. And ultimately, we will be wipe coding this.
Correct.
So, so let's skip that. Let's see what it replies.
Just check again. So based on backlog, creates sprint wise story distribution, assuming sprints of 2 weeks. You may want to mention the objective, why you are asking for this thing. The objective is focus on stories which add business value first and gradually build on top of it. And we want to hit the market as soon as possible. So after first sprint, we may want to get into the market and show some features to our customers and take their feedback
Hmm.
and build on top of it. So we want to follow that entire Scrum methodology over there.
Okay. So basically, the objective of distribution is not to create some estimate or effort thing, but to go to market strategy kind of thing,
Correct.
so that we can get feedback quickly and then.
Correct.
Okay.
Not features, but user stories.
This time it hasn't used the reasoning model. It is directly given from past model.
Yeah, that's AI for everyone. It took more time in thinking where humans don't think much, and it took less time where humans take more time. People hate sprint planning meetings because that is a wastage of time.
Yeah, and there will be negotiations as well. Like, why does it
Yes, it
take
skipped
2 weeks?
everything. Excellent.
Okay, foundation is authentication is first print, clause library and suggestion, templates and export, search and audit, non-functional hard feature to privacy. Yeah, basically a UAT kind of way.
Yeah, I think Curity and all those are very different parts of itself.
Mm.
But I think, yeah, it created a good plan, sprint wise.
I guess specifying 2 weeks was non-material over here because our objective was just to distribute or prioritize features, not to distribute work. So yeah, but that's
It
okay
might
for
have
now.
given different outcome. So what it is mentioning is iterative 2 week sprints for faster feedback, and let's see one of these sprints how it has designed it.
Because this is whole sprint just for, no, not just for, it has covered access control, uploading a contract and analyzing it. So that's good, I guess.
Yeah, I think it is 2 weeks worth of work anyways for at least the
Hmm.
three full stack developers working.
Yeah.
So it's estimations are good, I think. Yeah, let's put
Yeah.
this into our repository.
Hmm. Ah, right.
I think it is just overriding the same document. We may want
Okay.
to
Yeah.
rename it
We will just rename.
sprint plan.
Okay. I think this is good starting point
Yeah,
for any development to start with.
yeah, we have set up a strong foundation. I think next our target would be to identify tech architecture around it and building that document.
Hmm.
So I think we will be done with most of our basic work in the next video, and then maybe from third video onwards we'll start doing vibe coding.
Got it. Just to recap today's session, so we wanted to convert this one-liner or very high-level idea into actual specs as well as actual plan of implementation. So before jumping into direct development, these activities are important for humans and AI both. Otherwise, without giving much context either to human or AI, they won't uh, function in a way that they would have functioned if the enough context was provided. So this is important step for all the roles, including product owner and product manager, where they are brainstorming on the idea, product specification.
Got it. That sounds good.
Okay, so yeah, I guess we can end this for now.
Thank you, everyone. See you then next time.
Thank you, everyone.